Sir, I need you to step away from the table, now.
I'm in the middle of something here. This can't wait.
What exactly are you doing in here?
I'm the surgeon. I'm operating.
Huh, okay, sure. You got ID on you?
My hands are inside a child's chest right now.
Officer, you cannot be
Then I
in
guess
here.
we have a problem. Step away from the table.
The operating room was quiet except for the beeping machines. A 7-year-old boy named Jalen lay on the table. His chest was open. His heart was stopped. A surgeon was fixing a hole in that heart. Then the door burst open. Everyone freeze, police. The surgeon looked up. His hands were still inside the child's chest. Sir, I need you to step away from the table, now. I'm in the middle of something here. This can't wait. What exactly are you doing in here? I'm the surgeon. I'm operating. Okay, sure. You got ID on you. My hands are inside a child's chest right now. Then I guess we have a problem. Step away from the table. Officer Derek Reynolds had no idea what he just walked into. In the next 11 minutes, that little boy would die, not because the surgery failed, not because his heart gave out, but because a police officer dragged the surgeon away from the table. The man Reynolds was so eager to arrest, Dr. Marcus Webb, one of the best children's heart surgeons in the country, 15 years of saving kids, over 2,000 successful surgeries. His name was on the schedule, his credentials were on his scrubs, and the hospital cameras caught every single second. The city now faces a $22.5 million lawsuit. Before I continue, let me ask you something. Have you ever been judged by how you look instead of who you are? Tell me in the comments. To understand what was lost that day, you need to know who Dr. Marcus Webb is. He grew up on the south side of Chicago. When he was 12, his younger brother died from a heart problem no one caught in time. That tragedy changed his life. He decided right then to become a heart surgeon for kids. He worked harder than anyone. He got into Howard University, then Johns Hopkins Medical School, then the best training programs in the country. By the time he was 42, Dr. Webb had operated on more than 2,000 children. He fixed hearts that other doctors said could not be fixed. Parents called him Dr. Miracle. He was one of only 43 black children's heart surgeons in the entire United States. Think about that. In a country of over 300 million people, only 43. Dr. Webb could have worked anywhere. He chose Atlanta. He wanted to help kids who looked like him, kids who might not get the best care without someone fighting for them. On February 14, 2024, he woke up at 4 in the morning. He reviewed his patient's file one more time. A 7-year-old boy with a hole in his heart, a surgery he had done hundreds of times before. He had no idea a police officer was about to destroy everything. Now here's what you need to know about Officer Derek Reynolds. He had been a cop for 8 years. During that time, 14 people filed complaints against him. Every single complaint came from a black person, every single one. 6 times Internal Affairs opened an investigation. 6 times nothing happened. They called each case inconclusive. No punishment, no retraining, nothing. Other officers called him cowboy. It was not a compliment. In 2019, Reynolds stopped a black hospital administrator in the parking lot. He accused her of trespassing. She had worked at that hospital for 12 years. In 2021, he handcuffed a black nurse in the emergency room. Reynolds said the nurse matched the description of a robbery suspect. The nurse was treating a patient at the time. In 2022, Reynolds confronted a black father in the hospital chapel. He demanded to see ID. He accused the man of casing the building. The man's daughter was dying of cancer upstairs. In 2023, he called for backup on the hospital chaplain. The chaplain was wearing his full religious robes. Reynolds said he looked suspicious. 2 different supervisors said Reynolds needed more training. He never got it. The hospital security chief asked to have Reynolds removed from duty there. The request was denied. 14 complaints, 8 years, 0 consequences. Until the morning of February 14th. Type justice in the comments if you think 14 complaints should have been enough. It was Valentine's Day morning, February 14th, 2024, 8:17 a.m. Jalen Morris was 7 years old. He had a hole in his heart, Without surgery, he would not live to see 10. With surgery, he could live a normal, healthy life. His mother Keisha sat in the waiting room. His grandmother Dorothy prayed in the chapel. His father Marcus was driving in from his night shift at UPS. Everyone trusted Dr. Webb. Everyone believed Jalen was in the best hands possible. The surgery started at 7:30. By 8:17, everything was going perfectly. Jalen's heart was stopped. The bypass machine was keeping him alive. Dr. Webb was stitching the hole closed. 4 other medical workers were in the room. Then at 8:23, someone made a phone call. An anonymous caller told hospital security there was a black man in the surgical area who did not belong there. The caller said he was not a doctor. The caller said someone needed to check. The dispatcher tried to ask questions. The caller hung up. That call should have gone to hospital security. Instead, it went to Officer Derek Reynolds. Reynolds did not check with the nursing station. He did not look at the surgery schedule. He did not ask anyone anything. He just grabbed his gun and walked toward operating room 7. If stories like this matter to you, hit subscribe right now. At 8:26, Reynolds entered the surgical wing. A nurse at the desk called out to him, "Sir, you need to check in." Reynolds kept walking, police business. He reached operating room 7 at 8:27. Through the window, he could see the whole surgical team. Dr. Webb was clearly the lead surgeon. Everyone was wearing scrubs, masks, and caps. Reynolds did not use the intercom. He did not wait. He walked straight into the sterile room. "Everyone freeze, police." Dr. Sarah Chen, the assistant surgeon, looked up. "What we're in the middle of?" Reynolds pointed at Dr. Webb. "You step away from the table, now." Dr. Webb stayed calm. "Officer, I'm the lead surgeon. I'm mid-operation." "I don't care what you say you are. I got a report of an unauthorized individual. That's you." "My name is on the surgical board. I'm Dr. Marcus Webb." Reynolds did not check. He did not look at the board 3 feet away. He just stared at Dr. Webb. Okay, sure, you got ID." "My hands are inside a child's chest cavity right now." The scrub nurse spoke up. "Officer, please, you've broken sterile field. You need to leave." "Ma'am, step back." Dr. Webb tried one more time. "If I remove my hands, this child will die." Reynolds holstered his gun. He walked toward the table. "Then I guess we have a problem." The anesthesiologist shouted, "His heart is stopped. He's on bypass. You cannot do this." Reynolds grabbed Dr. Webb's arm. "Officer, no." Reynolds pulled hard. Dr. Webb's hands came out of Jalen's chest. The sutures were not finished. Blood started pouring out. Alarms went off everywhere. Dr. Chen tried to stop the bleeding. The bypass machine operator yelled that they were losing too much blood. The circulating nurse ran for help. Reynolds pushed Dr. Webb against the wall. He started putting on handcuffs. "Let me save him," Dr. Webb begged. "Please. You can explain downtown. Wait until you hear what happened next." At 8:31, the monitors showed the worst possible news. Jalen's heart stopped completely. Code blue. Dr. Chen was not trained to finish this specific repair. She tried to massage Jalen's heart by hand. The bleeding would not stop. At 8:34, hospital security finally arrived. Security Chief Ronald Patterson burst through the door. He took one look at the scene, and his face went white. "Reynolds, what the hell are you doing? That's Dr. Webb." Reynolds still had the handcuffs halfway on. "I received a report." "Uncuff him now." Reynolds hesitated. "Now, officer." At 8:35, Dr. Webb was finally released. He ran back to the table. His hands were shaking, but he tried to save Jalen. He tried everything. Too much blood, too much time had passed. The bypass machine could not keep up. At 8:42, Dr. Marcus Webb had to say the words no surgeon ever wants to say. Jalen Marcus Morris was dead. Dr. Webb collapsed against the wall. Nurse Hollins was crying. No one could speak. 11 minutes. That is how long Reynolds' investigation took. 11 minutes to end a 7-year-old life. Down in the waiting room, the chaplain got a phone call. His face changed. Keisha Morris saw it immediately. What is it? Dr. Chen walked into the waiting room. She was still wearing her bloody scrubs. Before she could say anything, Keisha collapsed to the floor. Grandmother Dorothy started screaming. When Marcus Morris Sr. arrived from work, he found his wife on the ground. A paramedic was treating her. Police cars were everywhere. Someone told him his son was dead. Someone told him a police officer had interrupted the surgery. What do you mean, interrupted? Within an hour, the hospital's CEO knew. The lawyers knew. Every piece of security footage was saved. All the audio from the operating room was saved. Officer Reynolds was removed from the building. His body camera had not been turned on during the whole incident. Dr. Webb was found in the locker room. He was sitting on the floor in his bloody scrubs. He kept saying the same thing over and over. I could have saved him. I could have saved him. The hospital called a psychiatrist. They put Dr. Webb on leave, not as punishment. He just could not function. Every person in that operating room gave a statement. Dr. Chen said Reynolds never identified himself properly. She said Jalen was stable before Reynolds arrived. She said the child was going to live. Nurse Hollins had been in that operating room for 23 years. She said she had seen emergencies. She had seen complications. She had never seen a police officer walk into surgery and kill a patient. The bypass machine operator said he knew it was over the moment Dr. Webb's hands came out. Everyone knows you do not interrupt a heart repair. Everyone except Reynolds. Type shocked in the comments if you cannot believe what you just heard. The Atlanta Police Department put Reynolds on paid leave that same day. Internal Affairs opened an investigation the next morning. Reynolds gave his statement. He said he responded to a credible threat. He said the individual was non-compliant. He said the man refused to identify himself. 6 medical professionals said that was a lie. The security footage proved it was a lie. The audio recording proved it was a lie. The surgery schedule had been posted on the wall. It clearly said Dr. Webb, operating room 7, patient Morris. Anyone could have checked in 5 seconds. The investigation found all the things Reynolds could have done. He could have asked the nursing station. That would have taken 10 seconds. He could have looked at the schedule on the wall. That would have taken 5 seconds. He could have used the intercom. That would have taken 15 seconds. He could have waited for hospital security. That would have taken 2 minutes. Reynolds did none of those things. They also pulled his whole history. 14 complaints, all involving black people, all ignored. 2 supervisors had recommended retraining. It never happened. The hospital security chief had asked for Reynolds to be removed. That request was denied because of union rules. The police chief made a statement 2 days later. He said the department was investigating thoroughly. He said Reynolds followed protocols. He offered sympathy to the Morris family. He did not mention race. He did not admit any wrongdoing. People were angry. The hashtag Justice for Jalen started trending within hours. National civil rights groups made statements. The mayor tried to distance herself from the police chief. But the Morris family was not waiting for the city to act. They had already called one of the most famous civil rights lawyers in America. If you want to see what happens to people who abuse their power, subscribe right now. The story exploded. By noon that first day, it was on every local news channel. By that evening, it was national news. By midnight, millions of people had seen it. The hospital footage was not released to the public, but everyone knew what happened. Witnesses talked. The family talked. The details were everywhere. On social media, the reaction was intense. People could not believe what they were reading. A surgeon pulled away from a dying child. Handcuffs in the operating room. A 7-year-old dead. One tweet said, 14 complaints, 0 consequences, 1 dead child. This is the system. Another said, Dr. Webb spent 15 years saving children. Officer Reynolds spent 8 years harassing black people, and the system protected Reynolds. Comments poured in from doctors across the country. Many black physicians shared their own stories of being mistaken for janitors, for patients, for criminals, in their own hospitals, wearing their own credentials. One doctor wrote, I have been stopped in my own hospital 11 times in 15 years. 11 times someone assumed I did not belong there. National news programs covered the story for days. Cable news debated police reform. Newspapers wrote editorials. The police chief resigned 2 months later. But that was just the beginning. Comment below what you think should happen to Officer Reynolds. On March 4, 2024, the Morris family filed their lawsuit. They sued the city of Atlanta. They sued the police department. They sued Derek Reynolds personally. The lead lawyer was Benjamin Crump. You might know that name. He has represented many families in civil rights cases. The lawsuit asked for $22.5 million. The claims were serious: wrongful death, civil rights violations, racial discrimination, negligence, emotional distress. The lawsuit said something powerful. It said Jaylen Morris did not die from a medical problem. He died from racism in uniform. During discovery, even more came out. Internal emails showed supervisors knew about Reynolds. They knew about the pattern. They knew about the concerns. They did nothing. Training records showed Reynolds never completed his required bias training. His personnel file had notes about being too aggressive, notes about failing to calm situations down. Dr. Webb joined the lawsuit too. He said he was assaulted. He said he was falsely arrested. He said he suffered severe emotional distress. In April, the department fired Derek Reynolds. The official reasons were violation of policy, failure to follow procedures, and conduct. Unbecoming an officer. Criminal charges are still possible. Investigators are looking at involuntary manslaughter and reckless endangerment. Reynolds could lose his license to be a police officer anywhere in Georgia. The anonymous caller has never been publicly identified. The call came from inside the hospital. Someone knew Dr. Webb was operating. Someone made a false report anyway. Civil rights groups want that person charged too. St. Catherine's Hospital was not sued. They cooperated fully. They changed their security rules. They created a fund in Jaylen's name for children's heart care. The settlement talks are still ongoing, but no amount of money will bring Jaylen back. Here is what we know for certain. The system protected Derek Reynolds for 8 years. It took a dead child to finally stop him. The Morris family held a press conference on the courthouse steps. Keisha Morris stood at the microphone. Her voice was steady, but her eyes were tired. Jaylen wanted to be a doctor. Did you know that? He used to put bandages on his stuffed animals. He would listen to his own heart with a toy stethoscope. He would tell me it was beating good, Mommy. She paused. He was not scared going into surgery. He told me Dr. Webb was going to fix his heart. He trusted him. He trusted the hospital. He trusted that he was safe. Her voice got stronger. My son did not die because his heart gave out. His heart was being fixed. My son died because a police officer looked at the man saving his life and saw a criminal. Marcus Morris Sr. spoke next. I work nights so my son could have the best care. I trusted this city. I trusted the police. I will never trust them again. Derek Reynolds took my son, but the system that protected him for 8 years took my son too. Dr. Webb also made a statement. I thought about quitting every day, but then I remembered why I started. My brother died because he did not have a surgeon who believed in kids like him. I cannot bring Jaylen back, but I can save the next one. Dr. Webb went back to work in August. His first surgery back was successful. He saved another child. This case is not just about one bad cop. Black doctors are twice as likely to face racial bias at work. Almost 1 in 4 black physicians say they are often mistaken for non-medical staff. In the entire country, only 5.7% of doctors are black. This keeps happening because the system allows it. 14 complaints were not enough to stop Derek Reynolds. How many more officers are just like him? So let me ask you, do we accept a world where a surgeon can be dragged away from an operating table because of how he looks? Do we accept a system where 14 complaints are not enough, but 11 minutes can kill a child? Do we accept a country where being black in your own workplace can mean death for the patient who trusted you? Because if we do not fix this, We are just waiting for the next anonymous call, the next suspicious doctor, the next child who does not survive. Jalen Morris was 7 years old. He had a heart problem. He had the best surgeon. He had everything he needed to live, and he is gone, not because medicine failed, because prejudice won. Comment below if you think Officer Reynolds should face criminal charges. Comment if you think the anonymous caller should be found and charged too. If you believe stories like this need to be told, hit that subscribe button right now. We are going to keep exposing these cases. We are going to keep demanding better. We are going to keep fighting for justice. This is not just about one cop or one doctor or one hospital. It is about all of us. It is about what we are willing to accept.